The world of One Piece has had a small tendency of romanticizing the pirate adventure a little more than it should. At a young age, Monkey D. Luffy became inspired by a life of freedom and adventure and dedicated the rest of his life to honoring the pirate name, despite such a moniker being commonly associated with thieves, murderers, and pillagers. The Straw Hats are a special breed of pirate, as they act more like heroes than villains on every island they reach, though not by Luffy's definition. Don't be distracted, however. While the Straw Hats are giving a good name to pirates, there are plenty of other people doing good in this world. Taking a step back from the Straw Hat crew, this list will be looking through some of the most heroic One Piece characters outside of the Straw Hats. Pelle. Pelle is often an underappreciated voice within the One Piece canon, especially given the various grand adventures the story has seen since the Alabasta arc. However, it could never be understated how important of a role he played in Alabasta's future. Pelle is one of the trusted guardians of the Nefertari family and one of the strongest fighters in all of Alabasta. When Crocodile hit a massive bomb in the middle of the civil war he arranged, Pelle got to show his bravery by taking the heavy structure and flying it away from the battlefield. He'd end up saving soldier and rebel alike and sabotaged Crocodile's ploy to create a divide in the kingdom. Kairos. Kairos has one of the best rags to riches stories in One Piece. He was once just a street tough infamous for fighting and killing people. He'd be taken in by King Riku and made to fight in the Kurita Coliseum until he earned his freedom. However, his boundless winning streak would actually garner the support of the entire kingdom and let him take a place in Riku's top guard. He'd later play a leading role in the rebellion against Don Quixote da Flamingo and was the only non-Straw Hat, not counting the future members of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, to defeat one of Doflamingo's executives, Diamante. Ganfall. The title of God changes from region to region, but its tendency to embody benevolence and virtue is a strange thread that multiple cultures share. Ganfall of Skypia was one such god. He ruled the land in the sky as peacefully as he could, but would be usurped by Eneru's powerful forces. Instead of just hanging his head in shame, Ganfall would try and make up for his weakness by being a roaming knight who'd patrol Skypia's skies and help lost travelers from the Blue Seas. He was a major ally for the Straw Hats during the Skypia arc and would be one of the major fighters in the grand fight against Eneru. Kobe. Kobe is a strong example of character progression, hitting someone like a bus. He went from Luffy's cowardly ward to a brave marine who would consistently go the front lines of danger. While fans can only assume that he's been doing good as a marine under Garp, he does have one incredible scene to solidify himself as one of the series' most pivotal heroes. When the Paramount War eventually devolved into senseless violence, he'd beg the Marines to end the battle and just take their victory, despite facing the burning fist of Admiral Akainu. While it's difficult to tell what exactly Kobe's speech did, red-haired Shanks pointed out that such an intervention would have lasting effects in the future ahead. Fisher Tiger. Fisher Tiger doesn't get mentioned nearly enough in the series, despite leading one of the grandest raids against both the world government and the Celestial Dragons. After escaping enslavement himself, he'd climb the entire height of the Red Line to secretly reach Marijoy and free as many slaves as he could. When he returned to Fishman Island, he'd come with a new campaign to travel the seas and fight against marine tyranny. He'd free various slaves in the process and launch the now famous Sun Pirates. Queen Odahime. While Fisher Tiger's active role in the world stage could never be understated, it shouldn't take away from the more peaceful efforts of his revolutionary parallel on Fishman Island. Queen Odahime was a strong proponent for reaching some peaceful agreement with the human world above and creating opportunities to finally let fishmen live on the surface. She was a bleeding heart for all of her citizens, good and bad, and would tirelessly campaign for their support of her cause. Though she began to lose supporters over the years, that didn't stop her from saving one of the Fishmen's greatest oppressors, a celestial dragon, when they got stuck on Fishman Island. White Chase Smoker. Though he hasn't played that big of a role within the story as of late, Smoker still stands as one of the noblest characters in the One Piece world. He was a hometown hero who defended Logatown from overzealous pirates wanting to give praise to the Pirate King's homeland. When the Straw Hats first evaded his capture, he'd chase them all the way to Alabasta and helped control the situation on Alabasta. After the time skip, he'd become the vice admiral in charge of the infamous G5 base, a marine station filled with some of the rowdiest, dirtiest soldiers around. Not only would he somehow discipline them under his command, he'd give them a second chance as respectable marines of the sea. Garp the Hero. The man literally has the word hero in his moniker. The legendary rival to the Pirate King, Monkey D. Garp, is a marine who was a bane to pirates everywhere. Besides fighting Gold D. Roger, he would also famously take down the leader of the Hapo Navy, Don Chinjao, and have a hand in stopping the maniacal efforts of Rox D. Zebek. Even now, he is one of the few dissenting voices within the Marines who doesn't just do the Celestial Dragon's bidding. Mont Blanc Noland. Mont Blanc Noland is one legend of the One Piece universe who often doesn't get his due within the community. While he isn't as infamous as Gold D. Roger or mysterious as Joy Boy, Mont Blanc Noland played an important role in charting some of the world's waters during its expanding, formative years and would save various communities with both his scientific knowledge and fighting will. Long ago, he saved the Tontata tribe from some oppressive humans and, more famously, saved Jaya from both a lethal plague and their own ignorance. Monkey D. Dragon. While he's often viewed as an infamous, wanted figure within the One Piece world, Monkey D. Dragon is one of the few characters actively trying to do good in the world by spreading freedom instead of just oppressive military power. As the leader of the Revolutionary Army, Dragon is responsible for having liberated various islands across the world and launching secret operations to overthrow the world nobles. While other parties in the world are either trying to secure their own freedom or maintaining a certain status quo, Dragon and the revolutionaries are some of the only people actively trying to create positive change.